Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah Martin with The Contoured Chemist. All right, today I'm talking Cheetah HAC. If you're new to mascara, you might not know what the heck I'm talking about, but this is gonna be a more advanced Cheetah HAC. This is gonna be a little bit about a method that you can use to really learn where you're placing what colors and why when it comes to Maskcara Beauty. And so if you are brand new to mascara and you've been color matched and you have, say, a color corrector or something like that, this is a way you can still use this method. And if you are loving mascara, but maybe the Cheetah HAC is not giving you the coverage you want, this is a more advanced version. I'm gonna explain to you why you have to apply it this way in order to get the results you want. So keep watching if you wanna see what the heck I'm talking about. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video if you wanna see more from me, and thank you guys for being here. Okay friends, let's go ahead and get started. So if you're new to mascara, you might be wondering, what is she talking about? What is a Cheetah HAC? So in Maskcara Beauty, a HAC stands for highlighting and contouring, and you get a face map when you order this makeup. And the premise is that you're gonna contour anywhere you want to increase the look of shadows on your face. So it lifts the cheekbones, frames the face, can make your forehead look shorter, smaller, and slim your nose, and carves out your jaw. And then you highlight in order to bring attention to where we all want people to look, which is the eyes, okay? Makes our features stand out, and it just emphasizes all of your beautiful features. So hacking is an amazing technique that can be a little bit overwhelming if you've never highlighted and contoured before. So you might have seen around the internet that a lot of artists do what they call a Cheetah HAC. So instead of just using a brush to place the colors, they take their finger and they draw spots on their face where everything goes all at once. So contour where it goes, highlight where it goes, lip and cheek where it goes, and then they just take a brush and they blend it all out. Okay, so I'm gonna call this advanced Cheetah HAC because I get clients all the time where they're like, oh, I wanna do this Cheetah HAC method, and they don't understand why they're not getting any wear time from their makeup, and this is why. So if you've never seen my videos before, I am a huge fan of color correction, and probably because on me, I can't just wear one shade and get really great wear time because I have a lot going on my face, okay? You might be like, no, your skin doesn't look like that, Sarah, but it really does. So this makeup is different. If you apply a shade that is too light for the skin directly under it, it will wear off very quickly. So say for me, for example, you might not be able to tell, but I have a darker nose than the rest of my face, okay? And if I wear a shade where I can wear it all over my entire face, my nose will wear off quicker than anywhere else. Okay, so when you're doing the Cheetah HAC method, and if you're using one color, yet you have different tones in your face, it's not gonna wear the same, okay? You might have certain areas that have great coverage, great wear time, and you might have others, so if you have redness, hyperpigmentation, dark circles, anything like that, you might need additional coverage. And it is really easy to get that with this makeup, but it involves layering. So the Cheetah HAC and the basic HAC face isn't layering anything. It is one layer of foundation. You just put everything where it goes, and it is a great method for those quick days, or if you are one of those lucky people that have one solid tone on their skin. But in my experience, after being an artist for almost 3 years, I find that few and far between. I find more people are looking to get better coverage and better longevity, and it's usually just a little tweak of using a different color, maybe in one spot, two spots, or layering slightly to build up for coverage. So I'm gonna show you, if I was doing a Cheetah HAC, how I would do it, because I usually use a color corrector, okay? So let's get into it. I'm sorry that was a very long explanation. So I'm gonna show you with my highlight shades. I, on the daily, use 3 shades, okay? I use a color corrector, which is Mango. I use it for my redness, my hyperpigmentation, matches the darkest tones on my face, and then I use a main shade and then a brightener shade. So let me explain a little bit further in the fact that if I was to go in with my lightest and brightest shade with no other color underneath it, under my eyes, it would show incredibly textured and wear off quickly, and it would age me because it's gonna bring out every one of my fine lines. So with this makeup, you gotta match the darkest tones, and then in order to wear lighter shades, you have to press on those lighter shades over the shade that matches your skin, okay? So that's what makes this makeup so different. You can't just put a lighter concealer down like you would think of a traditional concealer and then put your main shade over that. It's the opposite. Always go darkest first and then layer up from there to build your coverage if you need more coverage. Okay, so I'm gonna just go with this brush because it's easy and quick to show you guys. And if I was going to do pure Cheetah HAC for demonstration's sake, I could take my Mango shade and just dot it where I'd want it. So my redness, and you're probably not gonna be able to see this on camera, but the key is not putting too much with this makeup. So I'm going to try to dot it, but you probably won't be able to see it from a distance, because if I put it on too thick, then we're gonna have a whole load of other issues. So I put my color corrector through my mask area. So I'm going from here, and you might not be able to see because it doesn't translate too well on camera, but I have redness through here. My nose is darker, so I did my nose, and then through here, and then that one shade of, or that one spot of hyperpigmentation, okay? I've got a little bit of redness right above my brows, so I'm gonna put a little bit there. And then do you see how I have redness just right on the end of my chin? So when it comes to this makeup, I can tell you exactly where you put everything. You don't have to look at yourself with a magnifying mirror and be like, maybe I need a shade here or there. But I feel like it helps to know that that's what I'm looking for when I'm explaining to you, okay, you're gonna apply your color corrector here, here, and here, and then you'll go in with your main shade. That is why I'm telling you to do those things, okay? Because we're matching the darkest parts on your face first, okay? So I have a little bit of redness through here. So I'm just gonna put a little bit anywhere I'm red. Most people have redness around their nose. So I'm just gonna kind of get right around there as well. Okay, so I've got my color corrector down. With my finger, you can easily just tap into your cream and apply it that way. But I feel like when a lot of people are starting mascara, it helps them to maybe use the Cheetah HAC method to be able to learn where everything goes. And then once they get a hang of it, they can go straight in with their brush, and it's faster and easier that way. Okay, so I'm gonna use the blush bronzer brush, okay? Also known as the B squared. And I'm gonna use the blush end, okay? It's just an amazing brush for blending. So I'm gonna use a buffing motion, okay? And the reason I'm doing this is because I want a light layer. And when I say light, I mean lightly. This is how we get a natural coverage with mascara, is we buff with small circles. Okay, and all this is doing is just laying a little bit of that pigment on so that when I put my main shade over it, it's gonna give me more coverage. It's already matched my darkest tones, so I can lighten as much as I want to after that. Like if you like your face lighter than your neck, you can do that. You can brighten as bright as you want to go, as long as you've put those darker shades down first. So I completely forgot to mention my under eye. So I don't know if you can tell, but I have a lot of purple tones. So again, I need my color corrector. And this one, I always use my fingers to apply because it's really hard for me to get in that inner corner and all the way up. Now I already did my eye makeup, so I'm trying not to get too close, but all the way up and clean up that outer edge, okay? And then this I don't really buff out anyway. I just put a really thin layer with my finger because to get under eye coverage, the best method is layering. A lot of people don't get the coverage they want. If you have dark circles at all, they're not dark at all, one color usually isn't gonna cover it, in my opinion. You might think you have dark circles and I might not see anything, and one color for sure will do it. But for me, I find color correctors are amazing at getting incredible coverage under your eyes and evening that area out. So can you tell, like, it did not really cover my hyperpigmentation well, and that's because I went over it like this, okay? So I always recommend buffing on your color corrector, and then you can go in and press on anywhere you need more coverage. So I tend to always go back and I press on a little bit more there. If you have any other hyperpigmentation spots, you can easily use a brush for that. I like to use my finger as long as they're not too large. If they're larger, obviously brushes are better, but it's really easy to just kind of press on or use your brush to kind of press it in. But I like the warmth of my fingers to press it on without kind of rubbing it all off, if that makes sense. Okay, so now we are going to do the Cheetah HAC method. So I already laid down my color corrector because if I would have gone straight in with my main shade, I would have got less coverage and I would have been more or less probably getting it to wear off in a couple hours. So if you have redness or hyperpigmentation, you can still do the Cheetah HAC method. Just lay that color corrector down first, and then you have to be a little bit more careful, and I'll show you how to blend it out. Okay, so I'm gonna use Sandy, which is my main shade, and I'm going to follow the map and show you guys exactly where you're going to highlight and contour. Now with this system, like I said, you do not have to layer. If you do want additional coverage, I recommend using your main shade all over your entire face and then contour on top of it. Because our highlights and our contours have coverage in them. They are both foundation. So if you put your color corrector and then you put your main highlight and then you put your contour, you're gonna be getting a lot of coverage in those areas. And it really helps some people that have redness in those areas. Like me, I normally apply my main shade all over. Now, since I went ahead and color corrected, I'm not gonna do that today. I'm gonna show you where exactly you place your highlight and your contour if you do not wanna layer up for extra coverage, okay? If you're a full coverage girl, layer your highlight all over again. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so let's go with contour first because I feel like contour, a lot of people, when I very first started wearing this makeup, I did apply my contour first because I was unsure of where it all goes, and it makes it a lot easier if you put on your contour stripes and then you just kind of fill in the blanks with the rest of your highlight. So I'm gonna use my, and I don't know how well I'm gonna actually dot it, but I'm gonna go, let me show you. I'm gonna go from the top of my ear to the corner of my mouth, and that is like my invisible line, okay? You can roll a pencil and kind of feel where your cheekbone is, or you can feel for it. And you wanna go right up under that cheekbone, and right there is gonna be your line. Now I feel like it's going on like a line, and I'm trying to make spots, but it's kind of hard to do. So my rule of thumb is to kind of stop about the corner of your eye because it's naturally gonna blend in slightly, but when you're looking straight on, your cheekbones are not down here, they're up here, okay? To make that look natural and to give you the ultimate lift, you wanna stay in this triangle, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so there's my contour. The next place we contour is forehead. So forehead is completely personal preference. I like to think of it as framing the face. So maybe I should do a darker contour so you guys can see. Okay, that was Astoria. I'm gonna go with indigo now so you guys can see better. And we'll just do my full forehead here. Okay, so when it comes to contouring the forehead, I say if you have a really short forehead, you are gonna need very little. If you have a big forehead like me, I'm like a 4-finger forehead, you can go down farther. So you can do more spots down here as well. And then I also have a pretty wide forehead. So I go all the way down to almost my temple, but you can go all the way down to your temple as well. If you don't, then you can just stay kind of right in this area as well. So let's add a little bit more contour so you guys can see that better. So this is indigo. Notice how I'm kind of just tapping in. I never swipe into my creams, okay? And you'll notice the contours are much drier than the highlights, okay? All it takes is a little bit of pouncing into it and you'll get enough to be able to see it. Okay, you're not gonna be able to see if I put spots under my jawline, but the jawline is the third place. Again, this is personal preference. I know a lot of people who don't do it, but this is gonna kind of carve out the jaw and kind of like erase some jowls if you have any. I start at the darkest part, which would be back here by the ear, and you just kind of wanna run it up underneath. And you're not gonna be able to see this at all because you shouldn't be able to see it from looking straight on. It's just emphasizing the shadow under your jaw. Okay, don't let me forget to blend that because that would be bad. So I'm not gonna put indigo on my nose. Indigo is a neutral one and it pulls kind of warm on me. So I'm gonna show you how to do your nose with Astoria because Astoria is cool tone. And when it comes to noses pull red. So there's actually a contour specifically made for noses called Shadow that's even more gray than Astoria, but Astoria is cool tone. So a great method when you're learning to nose hack is just using your fingers anyway. So kind of put them together, get some on, go all the way up to like your brows and kind of follow that bone down to make 2 lines. You almost want to like touch your fingers, but not really. You want to get them straight and you want to go all the way down to the tip into like a triangle. And there you go. There's a nose, the beginning of a nose hack. Another place you can put it is right under your lip. Now this is getting a little bit more technical. When you're getting into the nose and the lip, you don't have to do that. The sheet shows forehead, jawline. It does actually show nose. I didn't nose contour for a very long time, so it is not a must do. Now let's get into highlight now. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my main shade. Okay, this is Sandy. Same thing, I'm just gonna kind of tap into it and I'm gonna place it in spots. Anywhere I did not contour, okay? So let's see, here. And these are probably, again, hard to see, but I promise they're there. I'm trying not to put too much because too much product can lead to issues. And then I'm gonna show you more about brightening here in a second, so don't forget about that. Okay, now after you do a Cheetah hack and you've already color corrected, one of your biggest things is you don't want to move the color corrector underneath. So if I go in and I just start buffing all of this in, I'm moving that mango I already placed, okay? So the key with color correction plus a Cheetah hack is still pressing to move the makeup around. Okay, so I am pressing, but you'll see how easily these creams blend. Now, when I've already contoured and I want to blend my highlight, I do one at a time. Okay, so I'm not gonna just go in and just start doing all of it. I am gonna go ahead and just do my highlight first. And in fact, I should have showed you, you also can do your lip and cheek. So let's just put a little bit on for, I can show you demonstration's sake. This is Plum, okay? And this is gonna be kind of hard because it goes right above the contour. I think I kind of put some highlight right there, so hopefully you can see that. I should have picked a brighter blush as well. So, all right, so now I'm just gonna kind of press, and I'm kind of concentrating anywhere I highlighted, and I'm trying not to move that product underneath, okay? So, noses are hard. We'll get that more in a second when I brighten. Okay, so I'm gonna go kind of around the lip and cheek. I'm gonna kind of try to go under the eye. Some people might prefer the Buffy to press that area. I find the Buffy is a great brush for more full coverage and for pressing. So you can press that highlight down under the eye, because remember that layering shades will give you better coverage. So right there under the eye, I usually do layer 3 shades in order to get better coverage. Okay. It's sometimes really hard to get close. Okay, so for the most part, I am completely blended in. I've got good coverage from my highlight there. Now I'm gonna start blending my contour. So I'm just gonna kind of press upwards, and it's gonna be kind of hard to just do contour and not blush as well. So I'm just gonna kind of press that in around the apples of my cheeks, press it on up, and then just kind of use this brush at an angle to kind of press and blend that. Now, anywhere that I feel like is a little harsh, okay, and this is not mudding up my brush, the colors do not stay on there. These creams truly are super easy to blend. In fact, they blend away if you blend too much. If I was to start doing this or this would just simply blend away, and then I won't be able to see it, and I won't get that chiseling out of my features that I really want. So I feel like the lip and cheeks will definitely blend out easier because they're creamier, and our contours are designed to be drier. So they're designed to kind of stay put where you put them, but that doesn't mean that they don't blend out. So you just kind of press along that line and they will blend. And this is one of our very darkest contours, and you'll see it still blends amazingly. Okay, so for forehead, I tend to kind of pull a little bit more. Here I don't have any color corrector, don't have any highlight, so this is gonna be my only coverage, and I don't want like a line where my forehead is. So I'm gonna kind of just pull that into my hairline to blend. Okay, and then I'm gonna kind of start pressing again. And then I want those, that where my contour and my highlight meets, I want those to blend seamlessly. So you kind of just want to, you can pull down or you can just keep pressing. You'll see that in all my tutorials, I press a whole lot. Okay, and then I am not touching my nose contour yet. I am getting there. So when it comes to brightener, like I said, you have to put down that base layer before you can brighten. If I put straight brightener down, it's not gonna work for me at all because I like a light under eye and my skin tone is not that light. It's never gonna sit well on my skin. And with this makeup, too light a shade increases texture, increases the look of fine lines, all that stuff that we really don't want. So you can use your finger again to apply. I'm gonna use Aura as my shade. Okay, so first I'm gonna just take some straight down my nose hack, okay? You wanna try to get this line straight. I tend to never be able to get it very straight, but kind of blend up between your brows, okay? And then I like to go a dot in the center of my forehead, dot in the center of my chin. I like to do a little bit on my Cupid's bow, right in there. And then I'm gonna go, the main part under the eye that you really wanna brighten is this right there, okay? So just by putting a dot right there is gonna, you can move that, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to move that because we wanna keep everything from all the way up to that contour line to all the way out in this entire triangle is gonna be brightened. And I still have a lot on my finger and I'm not even gonna use that. I'm gonna just show you how to brighten. So I tend to not love this brush for under my eye. It's just too big and I need something a little bit better, like smaller to be able to get in that inside corner. So you can easily use like one of these brushes, something smaller, but I find this brush distributes really well while still being able to get in there and being able to press to move that product, okay? So let's start with the easy part. Let's do forehead. So forehead, we got that light color there. If we don't distribute that around, it's gonna sit in the pores. It's not gonna look pretty. I'm gonna kind of just start pressing and I'm gonna move that in an upside down triangle right there because those are the key areas we wanna brighten. Okay, and see how easily that blends in just by pressing. I'm not doing anything but using pressure to blend. Now this brush is very dense, so it does this very well. Not all of our brushes do it as well. This one, I love this brush. So you can kind of press a little bit down the nose, but I'll show you how I mainly blend that in a different way. Okay, here's the kicker. Let's do the under eye. Now, all you gotta do is kind of slowly start pulling, not pulling, but pressing while moving, okay? I'm gonna go all the way out to the outside corner. I'm gonna go all the way down to my nostril because we want this all brightened on the side of the nose. If you notice here, where it's dark, it will actually make your nose look wider. So we're trying to slim the nose. So we're gonna go all the way down and then I'm just gonna keep going in that triangle. So, and I'm just gonna keep pressing until I feel like all of that has been distributed and it doesn't look like it's sitting in any of my fine lines, okay? So I literally just used a dot and that's enough. In fact, that's probably more than enough for that entire area. Look at the difference. Whew, I love this stuff. Okay, so all the way over, all the way down, and back up. Okay, there we go. So we cheetah hacked. We just kind of went about it in a different way, okay? In a more advanced way of cheetah hacking, a way to get better coverage and still be able to kind of learn where you're gonna place all the colors. Don't forget to perfect. So normally I like to recommend girls do this at every layer. If you keep your dots thin and you're not applying too much product, you won't have any issue and you can blend at the end with your barely damp perfector because we don't want it to look heavy or makeup-y, okay? So this is how I blend my nose hack. I just simply go over that until the lines are not obvious. Key with nose hack is look from the side. Do you see any lines? If so, press in and blend a little bit more. Okay, and I like to go everywhere because this is what presses in the makeup to look like skin. Okay, so if you want more lip and cheek, I feel like this method doesn't really give you a great like control of your blush, if that makes sense. So it also sometimes kind of pulls off anywhere you've gotten more need more coverage. So again, I just take my finger and I just press on a little bit more if I need it. And then if you want more lip and cheek, go back in and just simply tap and build up that color till you get to your preference. Okay, and then the one thing I don't recommend really placing beforehand when you're doing a hat, when you're doing a Cheetah hack, is the illuminator, because otherwise it just kind of gets all blended together and you want to be able to see that, and you don't really want, you know, the glow to be mixed in. Does that make sense? So once I've completely perfected my face, I will do the illuminator last, though this is Angel. And I just use my perfector and press it on that upper cheekbone for my glow. I like to control where that goes and blend at the same time. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit. So, lip and cheeks are for your lips as well. You can top it with a gloss if you're like me. So many options in your palette. Okay, so the last thing I do is I will powder. I'm just gonna take a little bit right under the eye to set that cream so it doesn't move. And there you go. Has slight brightening as well. So we are good to go. So I hope that answered all of your questions about how to, what's going on here? About how to do a Cheetah hack with Maskcara Beauty in a different way, a little bit more advanced way, still getting amazing coverage. If you ask me, this is just as good a coverage as I get on a normal basis, layering my shades with a brush. So hopefully that helps kind of learn placement, why we do things a certain way. If you do have redness, how you can still do that method in your own way, and hopefully you guys love it. So if you have any questions or you need a color match, my form is below. I would love to help you out and teach you how to use this amazing makeup. Thank you guys for watching. Love you. Bye.